That's right now.
From 1986. Shopping Mall. 30-year anniversary. It's October 2016. L-Mid JBM here. So we got this off that Lionsgate 8-in-1 pack where they got Slaughter High, which I plan on doing a review of. They got like Ghoulies Go to College, and they got 972.
We still gotta finish watching the Ghoulies.
Yeah, we should have done a review on the first one. We watched it earlier in the summer, but we were just too lazy to do a review afterwards.
But anyways, Shopping Mall.
This was made by Jim Wynorski, who has a lot of credits in the exploitation and horror and fantasy movies. He did the Swamp Thing sequel. He did 972 Evil 2. He did Sorority House Massacre 2, which is a very underrated sequel. He did Ghoulies 4. So he has a lot of credits. He did Deathstalker sequel too. Anyway, let's get on to this one. L-Mid, tell him what's going on.
Hardcore 80s intro. It takes like 10 minutes. And so you meet all the characters and they're gonna party, you know.
No, you're jumping way too far ahead.
Okay.
This is a mall. This is that
security of these.
Shut
bots.
the hell up. This is in Texas, the mall where they upgrade their security because it's the late 80s and they're like, we gotta
call the RoboCop company and get some dustbusters with guns on.
Right, essentially this movie is The Initiation meets RoboCop meets Star Wars meets
like I thought it was gonna be a person
meets Hide and Go Shriek
doing the killing, but no, it's robots.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. This one I always put off. I didn't know what it was for sure. So, and they do this presentation in the beginning where it's this corporation like, this is gonna change security forever. No one will ever breach these walls.
It's like they got poison or darts that make you go to sleep. It's armed with darts and then like lasers
and then this
and a taser.
Right, and this robot comes out and he's like, it's just basically a dustbuster on
show
wheels.
Your ID to it and it won't.
And it's got crubby mobility. And yeah, of course it malfunctions. I mean, even simple electronics malfunction. This one, you know,
well, this
it's
one had
prone to
electricity that shocked the top and made them all go haywire. That's what it was.
Yeah, this is what happens. After the presentation, it's like the first night or one of the. They don't even say if it's like a week later, a month later, or
a centerfold.
And
he gets his head popped out.
There's a headquarters, like a command center, like they control it or everything. The company controls their robots. And what happens is this lightning strikes right down on it. This lightning storm corrupts the circuitry of these
robots.
And basically turns them sinister. And
it's like the Terminator.
And the robot inside the command center ends up strangling the operator.
And then another operator comes in there, but his body's missing. So the robot was turned into a dustbuster and cleaned up the body.
And you're like, since he cleans up so well, like he cleans blood spatter and everything, you're like, why don't they just hire them as the janitors at night? Because there's the hardcore 80s actor who's in Gremlins. He's in this, who he gets slaughtered when he's staying after hours. Because the mall locks up. It becomes unbreachable with these adamantine steel doors.
Stuck in there with these Terminators, mini ones.
And so we meet our cast. It's a bunch of 20-somethings. They're like, hey, let's stay after like it's The Intruder or something.
Real slow, but still.
They're not the graveyard shift on the mall. They're just a bunch of young adults who are staying after the party and copulate.
Cool, unique death scenes. One guy gets this throat slashed.
I think they took it a little too far with the whole laser effects.
The head blowing up? Yeah, they did a little bit.
Yeah, there's some actual gore in here. This is 1986, so there's some exploding heads.
Gets on fire, dies that way.
People categorize this as a slasher film, or it gets lumped into it, that category.
Slashing them.
But really, it's like they don't. It's got the classic slasher setting where it's like kids isolated, getting hacked up one by one. There really is no slashing. Like L-Mid said, the robot's weapons are these lasers and this laser gun and
Sleep
tasers
darts and tasers and shoots a little thing, prong there and grab you. It's like a pincher, like a lobster, and it's like doing it one time, like with the shadow. That scene's hilarious. And the door shuts. Remember that?
And it's
the
like
silhouette of it. And
it's like it would have been like such a big deal that they got these robots in at night, and none of these people that work in the mall, they're all heedless to these futuristic robots being around, and they could be psychotic or anything. It's just like they're just clueless to the whole thing.
That doesn't make any sense on their part, even though they're at the beginning of the company show.
I mean, so they couple up afterwards. A few of them score, and then the robots become unruly and start executing anything that it encounters. And these laser effects are just going everywhere. They're like assailing the whole mall with no damage at all, like so because they're just special effects.
They go to
the mall wasn't even ruined.
They go to the sporting goods department and arm themselves with weapons, but it doesn't even work. The bullets just bounce off the thing, but they still continue to shoot, even though it doesn't.
Oh right, like it's so indestructible or something.
But then that guy jumps on the thing and hits it with a slow-moving cart, and it's like the most poor, cheesiest. And it kills it, disables it.
They gear up and go to war, and that's when it gets really boring.
Like I said, it is dry. It does go slow. Filler.
It eventually comes to where they have this final showdown where one of the guys who was the most aggressive, his girl, who he was kind of paired up with, she gets shot with the laser. It makes no sense. She stops right in the middle and lets the robot shoot her. And he's like, hey, and he's got his rifle, and he doesn't fire it, and he gets in this bumper car essentially and goes 5 miles per hour and has this collision right in the middle, and it just causes this whole jolt where he gets electrocuted and just passes out and dies, and the geeky friend doesn't even help him out or anything.
But he went out valiantly, though.
And stupidly.
He's a good hero.
So the final two are the geek and the ugly chick, who's, early on when she's urged into promiscuity and she's still reluctant to, she was going to be the final girl. Because the blonde chick, I forget her name, but she was the girl in Reanimator. She's pretty hot. There was a few hot chicks in there. Not just they were worth lusting over. Their beauty merited worship in a limited degree.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seconds that. Anyway, the company doesn't even come into play for the conclusion. They don't wrap it up.
They wrap it up with a freeze frame of two of them, hey, we survived it in the mall, the heart of the mall, in the opening where you walk through.
They're
they hug.
They're we're too 80s and this is too cheesy to wrap it up.
The camera goes up and then just fades out, and you're like, what?
Yeah, no repercussions.
Everybody's around
for the company.
All their friends just got zapped and killed.
Even though the guy who does the presentation in the beginning, he's supposed to be this ultra confident type of expressive and demonstrative speaker who his words of potency would be confronted for the ending, but he's nowhere to be seen. He's superficial as hell.
Witness all their friends getting their heads blown off by lasers and stuff, but they're acting normal, it's just another day.
Totally. They found love, though.
What do you rate it? 1 to 10.
I give mine letter gratings, and what I would give this is a C+. You get to see the tits of the one slut too.
Oh my god.
It's watchable, but not rewatchable. I probably won't check this out for maybe another 20 years or so.
Yeah, you don't want to watch those lasers shoot.
So I don't recommend it, guys. Anyway, L-Mid JBM. Go to villainnews.com. Go tune into new videos every Saturday on this channel, Mr. Creepshow 9. Leave comments, leave a request for what you want us to review, and thanks for watching.